Hi everyone, my name is Ileana Padilla. I'm the Education and Outreach Coordinator at Friends of the LA River, and welcome to our EcoCraft Corner. You might be wondering how art plays a role in our organization. Art really helps us express ourselves and think outside of the box, which I think is really important when we think about reimagining the LA River and reshaping our overall environment. Today we will be making some DIY pressed flower paper lanterns. It's a pretty simple and easy craft, but it's very fun and it's a really great way to get creative, to go out in nature. Today we will be decorating our paper lanterns using some plant pressings. So you want to go out and collect your flowers ahead of time, maybe 4 to 5 days before you get ready to make your actual paper lantern. Perhaps you want to prioritize some plants that have already fallen and that are dried. I collected these from an ash tree in the Mid-River. This is from a willow tree, also from the Mid-River. And these are from around my neighborhood. This is a fuchsia flower from the Mid-River, and these other smaller flowers here are from the Upper River. You collect your plants, take them back home, and place them in between paper or cardboard, and then you want to add significant weight on top. To press my plants, I place them in between 2 pieces of cardboard, and I place some heavy books on top and give them a few days for them to dry. I encourage you to go out and explore your urban nature and bring back some nature into your home. To make your paper mache, you'll need water, flour, salt to prevent mold, a fork to mix it all up. We have balloons, scissors, paper that we're gonna start shredding and tearing up, string, glue, a hole punch, and some tea lights. So making paper mache is quite simple. You'll need about equal parts flour to water. I used all-purpose regular flour. And I'm just gonna use this fork to mix it all together. You wanna get it about the same consistency as cake batter. And you wanna sprinkle some salt in. You'll need about a teaspoon. The salt will help prevent mold and will also help your lantern last longer. And now you're ready to get started. Now I'm gonna blow up my balloon, which will serve as our mold for our paper lantern. The size of your balloon will determine the size of your lantern, so it depends how big or small you want it. The next step is to tear up our paper, which will be our base layer. You could use any type of paper, really. You could use newspaper, recycled paper, but the thinner the paper is, the more light will be shown through the lantern. We want about 2-inch wide strips, and it definitely doesn't have to be perfect. I'm also going to tear up my tissue paper into strips as well, and I'm doing this now while my hands are dry. It'll just make it easier. So before you get started, I recommend laying out some newspaper because this craft will get messy, but that's what makes it fun. I have my mix here. I have my strips of paper, I have my balloon, some extra water in case I need it, and we're ready to get started. You want to dip your piece of paper into the mix and remove any excess. Now I'm going to start layering my strips of paper. And you don't want to cover the entire balloon, you want to leave the top open. And as you go, you want to kind of remove any excess paste that you might have. It'll prevent clumping. Now I'm going to layer on the tissue paper, which is optional. I like the way that the tissue paper looks on top. It makes everything kind of look more put together. And your first layer will already be sticky enough for your tissue paper to stay. So once you're done covering your balloon, you're going to want to hang it up to dry somewhere. I'm just going to tie this string, and it'll take about a day to dry. So after your paper mache dries and you're ready to start decorating, you want to remove your balloon. So I'm going to gently pop it. Now that you've got your dried paper mache lantern, you're ready to decorate. So this part is the most fun because it's when you can make your paper lantern unique to you. So bring out the dried plants, flowers. You'll want to use glue to place your flowers, your leaves down. These leaves came from an ash tree from the Mid River, so along the Glendale Narrows. So I recommend not using twigs because that won't really stick so well. I think it's pretty much decorated. I just completed decorating my paper mache lantern. I feel like this lantern represents the LA watershed because I got some leaves and flowers from the upper river, from the Mid River, and also from around my neighborhood. For your final step, we're gonna hole punch either side. And if you don't have a hole punch, you might wanna use a pencil or a pen to make holes. And I'm gonna grab some string and tie it through each end. I'm going to grab my battery-powered tea light, and we don't wanna use a regular candle because of fire safety. And it's ready to be hung. We would love to see how you put together your paper lantern. What paper did you use? What kind of plants? Share your work on Instagram and tag @FolartOrg.
EcoCraft Corner is brought to you by Superba Food and Bread and Toyota Financial Services.